We're in a change. Here come the Lightning. Sorelli! Stopped by Sorokin!
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
What's the most special part about playing here at UBS Arena for you?
Everything.
295 goals as an Islander.
You see my distant fellow. I had to kill him.
They dig away, they score! No, they didn't! Now they do! Hangs onto it. Tried to the seam pass for Lee, scores! Schaefer turns to the net, score! Barzell moves around Drury. Barzell dangles, scores!
Let's focus on the other team, go across the river over to UBS, because you look at the New York Islanders, they won 4 of their last 5 games, but you look at those 4 wins, 2 of them against Tampa, Colorado, and then Vegas last night. Anthony, we look at the Metro standings right now. The Islanders are sitting in 3rd place, shouting distance of 1st place right now. We talked about the stretch that they're on, and right now they're 4-3-1, but they got some pelts hanging up on that wall, some 4-point bucks, if you will, that you're like, wow, the Islanders are kind of taking down some giants. And, of course, Ilya Sorokin named the first star of the week last week, and he's been incredible. Those numbers actually went down because of the Vegas game. They were even better the other day. How much have the Islanders impressed you in this recent stretch?
They've impressed me very much. I mean, we talked about last week's show because they salvaged that road trip and finished 500 with a win over Colorado, and they came out and they smacked Colorado in the mouth. You know, it was a team that lost once in regulation, and they played their style of hockey, and they were up 4-0 on them at one point. So that certainly really impressed me. The 2 games against Tampa, obviously Tampa had been rolling. They beat them in their own building, and then they go out to Tampa. Sorokin puts on a clinic, and they win a 2-0 game with Cal Ritchie scoring that between the legs goal on the power play to get the first goal of the game, which was ridiculous. And then they drop a game on the second half of the back-to-back against Florida. I mean, kind of is what it is. All things considered, I wasn't really that much upset about it, what they've done in the general landscape here. But then they come home and they play another very good team in Vegas who had been very hot. They fall down behind 2-0 in the first period. They keep working at their game, and they let up the tying goal late, but they're able to kill off a penalty in overtime, which was big. Settle it down, and then they win in a shootout. So they're finding ways to win games, and it helps that obviously Ilya Sorokin, since Sergei Namirovs has been here, has been a totally different goaltender. What you're talking about him being back just this last week with the NHL, the first star of the week, he's been back ever since Namirovs took over. He's been a different goalie from when the season started. And then you want to talk about depth. Mark Atcombe scores a big goal, the tying goal last night off of a feed from Cizikas. The game against Colorado, Kyle McLean scores a goal. Cizikas has scored some empty netters, and that's their 4th line that are chipping in and scoring goals. Simon Holmstrom's playing under the 3rd line last night, took a good feed from Cal Ritchie, and scored the go-ahead goal. So they're getting scoring from some of those players in the bottom 6, and then of course Bo Horvat is still just playing like a man on a mission right now. So they're a team really that ever since those first 3 games of the year where they went 0-3, they've been very consistent, been one of the better teams in the league since then. So credit to Patrick Waugh again for having him play this faster style of hockey. Credit to Matthew Darche for pressing the right button and making the goaltending change at the coach position to get Namirovs in there. And then just, credit for the whole team to not giving up. I mean, they lost a top 4 defenseman in Romanov, who's done, for 5 to 6 months. And then you lose a guy in Kyle Palmieri, who was playing on the top line, top power play unit, had been producing good numbers, tears the ACL out for the rest of the year. And they just have that next man up mentality. Shabanov took his spot in the top line, got an assist last night. He's playing well. So, the team is just, I think they believe in in each other. I also think they have a similar mindset to what they had when after Tavares walked out on them. Granted, totally different situations, but that year no one predicted them to do anything. This year they just got the first overall pick. They missed the playoffs. People were like, oh, well, they're retooling, whatever. And I think they're showing people that they can hang with any team in the league and win on any given night. And, that's, as of right now, that's what they're doing. And one of the things that is lost too that has to be mentioned, because I was a big critic of them, so when they changed their game around, you also got to give them props. But Ryan Pulock and Adam Pelech have haven't quite exactly turned back the clock to where they were, but they have both picked up their games significantly, and it's showing in the back end. They've both been a lot better since they were at the beginning of the year. So yeah, right now they're impressing me. They're playing good, 2 points out of first, and for them, just the mantra is keep going, keep trying to see how many points you can bank, and hopefully put yourself in a position at the trade deadline to maybe add a piece to help you for a playoff run.
Yeah, because they've been massively impressive, especially the way they handle Colorado, right, Phil?
Yeah, that game really impressed me. They absolutely, like Anthony said, they smacked Colorado right in the mouth. They didn't just smack them in the mouth; they punched them in the mouth. And they came out with purpose, and they were like, you know what? We love you, Brock Nelson, but we're going to crap all over your team.
Yeah,
that was basically what they did. They outworked that team left and right. And Anthony's right; it's impressive. You lose two key cogs, one in your top 6 and one in your top 4 on your defense, probably your best defensive defenseman at this point. And they still just have this next man up mentality where it's just like, okay, you know what? Who's going to step up next? Who's going to really contribute and fill those roles? And they're doing it by committee. And Horvat's on fire right now. Sorokin looks like he's absolutely back to the guy that he was. I don't know if it was. I think the goaltending change and coaching is part of it, but I also think he's finally healthy. I think back injuries are they're serious and they're finicky. It's tough to say that, oh, just because this guy's back and he's cleared, does that mean that he's really truly healthy and game shape? And we've seen it with Andrei Vasilevsky in Tampa Bay. Like that was something that it took him a while to come back from, and he looked like he wasn't the same goalie when he came back. And then he regained his form. He finally got back, and I think sometimes it might even be mental. So for Sorokin, I think he finally feels to a point where he's comfortable enough where he's like, you know what? I know I'm fine. I'm not worrying anymore, and I'm just going to go out there and play hockey, and that's it. And he looks like the Vezina caliber goaltender that he was beforehand again. And I'll say it again. I've said it before. This was house money this year. Mm-hmm. This was nothing but house money.
Yeah, Jim, in the Islanders case, are they like how DiCaprio said it in Django? You had my interest, but now you have my attention?
Yeah, I mean, look, I came into the season maybe one of the few. I know, Anthony, you cover the team and everything. I don't know what your expectations were for the Islanders coming into the season, but I thought they could compete for a playoff spot, to be honest, the way that if Sorokin came back and came to his form, they have one of the best goaltenders in the league. And that team goes as Ilya Sorokin goes. And now, as Phil hit it on the head, that everybody's buying into the system. That was the thing for me with the Islanders, is what, Matthew Darche got him offensively. Emil Heineman's been great. The trade has been excellent on both sides. And I wanted to see Patrick Waugh with offensive talent. Like, not to say he didn't have it before, but it was still loose players. And there was and we know there was some butting of the heads when it came to player personnel on who he wanted on this roster. Yeah. So the fact that I'm seeing a different team and Jonathan Drouin has stepped up and Anthony Duclair is playing well, Bo Horvat, Matt Barzal, like this team is performing at a level I thought they could perform. Like be around 3rd, 4, 3-4 in a Metro, and maybe get into a playoff spot. And if they did, hey, that's great. Great first year for Matthew Darche, everybody. But I think this is the Islanders I kind of expected when Patrick Waugh first took over, right before Stadium Series.
Yeah, and I think Waugh does a great job with getting them up for games. I think that's where he specializes, and that's where his pedigree really is. I'm not sure if it's in X's and O's. And right now, Waz got them playing at the level that you kind of, Anthony, I got to hand it to you. You always kind of talked them up, and you always said that they could play at this level. I wasn't exactly so certain on the Rangers, not the Rangers. Well, they're not certain on the Rangers anyway, but I wasn't certain on the Islanders this season. And look what the way the Islanders have been playing. I mean, Matthew Schaefer, I think, has changed around so many things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the expectations too. Like, who really thought he was coming in here and doing this? Like, let's be honest.
No, and also you can really see
me. Like, he's overshadowed the expectations I had for him. I'm like, all right, he's the 17-game sample. I'm like, all right, like, okay, he's gonna start. He'll probably play World Juniors, but now I'm like, regular NHL defenseman. Now again, let's see when he hits the wall. But right now he's not, and I think the youthful energy from a kid like that, you can see what it's done for this team.
Oh, it's almost like the Islanders started as the Matthew Schaefer feel-good story and developed into this team that now you better be in bringing your best game when you play the Islanders, or they're going to smack you in the mouth, as Colorado just found out.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.